As we've been hearing throughout the broadcast, there's no easy solution to the problem of illegal drugs and the violence that usually comes with it. From Mexico City, Laura Carlsen adds some perspective to all of this with her view from the Americas.
Latin America is tackling taboos again, this time with calls to legalize drugs. Even more surprising, the bid to end drug prohibition is coming not from libertines or armchair experts, but from leaders in power. In fact, from the presidents of some of the countries that face the most serious problems of violence and organized crime. The latest call comes from someone you'd least expect. Guatemala's president, Otto Pérez Molina, a former military general who ran on a law and order platform, just held a summit of Central American nations to seek alternatives to the war on drugs. He said his country was frustrated with the approach led by Washington and that it was time to think about other options, including legalization. Although the summit failed to produce a specific agreement, the meeting marked a huge step forward in putting legalization on the table. Even the foreign minister of Mexico, where the drug war has cost more than 50,000 lives in the past 5 years, came out and said legalization should be discussed.
Otro ejemplo es la situación de América Central.
Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos surprised many when he vowed to put the issue on the program for the Summit of the Americas conference in Cartagena. Colombia is known as a regional laboratory for the U.S.-supported drug war ever since Plan Colombia began back in 2000. Hillary Clinton and other Obama officials often cite it as a model. But Colombia's Foreign Minister Maria Holguín said recently, the battle against drugs definitely has not been as successful as it should be, and it's an issue that countries have to talk about. It's not hard to understand why these governments want to look at other alternatives. Violence caused by drug cartel operations has surged in their countries, fueled by a multi-billion-dollar market for illegal drugs in the United States. Pérez Molina's proposal to legalize the transit of illicit drugs isn't so much about drug policy reform. It's more a strong statement to the North that poor countries don't want to do the United States' dirty work. For one thing, they don't have the resources, the legal systems, prisons, police forces, or even military strength to wipe out the cartels. And the prospect of a politically and financially expensive quagmire, even with U.S. aid, obviously concerns them, especially with another global recession on the horizon. The U.S. government has stepped in to shore up the drug war and insists it absolutely opposes the idea of legalization. Central American nations have a long history of dependence on the U.S., so it'll be hard for them to contradict its drug policy. But looking north to Mexico, it could be much harder to pay the price in lives and resources to fight a war that many feel isn't theirs to fight. For Americas Now, I'm Laura Carlsen.